Good morning. Welcome to my thought for the day. I'm thinking today about not forgetting anything. That's because I'm packing to go away for 10 days to visit both my daughters and go to a music school down in Deal. And I've got a list and I'm working through my list. And I keep thinking I mustn't forget anything. I must think about everything that's going to happen in these next 10 days, and I mustn't forget the clothes I need for the concert at the end of the music week. I mustn't forget my music stand. I mustn't forget. So I've been thinking about forgetting or remembering things. And I was thinking about the Lord, and the verse that came to mind was the one in Isaiah 49, verse 15, or 14 really, where it says, Zion said, "The Lord has forsaken me, my God has forgotten me." And then it says, in answer, "Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should have no compassion on the child of her womb? Even these may forget, but I will not forget you. Behold, I have graven you on the palms of my hands." That's 14 to 16 of Isaiah 49. We may forget, but God does not. God remembers us. God does not forget us. We're engraved on the palm of his hands. He was talking here, of course, to his people Israel, and promised that he would never forget them. And as children of faith, having faith in Jesus, we have been grafted in, as Paul describes in Romans. We are part of God's people. So the promises for God's people apply to us. And I don't think God's got a list like I've got a list. But he's got us written down on the palm of his hands. And sometimes it does feel as if God has forgotten you, or perhaps as if God has forgotten the promise that he made to you, or perhaps that he's forgotten your prayers, your requests about a particular situation. It may seem sometimes it takes years before the answer comes. And there are lots of reasons for that. It's not that God forgets. It's not that God forgets at all. It's that God has given mankind free will. And free will means God cannot force people to do anything. He has given man autonomy. In his grace and his love and his mercy, he wanted true friendship, true devotion, not a robotic obedience. And the risk-taking involved in that is that those with free will would turn away from him. And so many people have, and done terrible things. And sometimes it takes a very long time for changes to happen, because God can put thoughts into people's minds. God can bring things to mind in other people's minds, but he can't make them do anything. And sometimes it does take a very long time for the answers to come. But the truth is, the only thing that God forgets is our forgiven sin. When we come to Jesus and we ask for forgiveness, God forgives. God places all the punishment for our sin upon Jesus, and he forgets what we've done. So we mustn't keep going back to him and saying, "Oh, do you remember when I was 25 I did this? I'm so sorry, I was just thinking about it and remembering it." And God will say, "What sin? It's forgiven. It's gone. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at you in Jesus, forgiven, restored." But these verses are lovely because it says, would a mother who has nursed a child forget her child? Well, she might. But it's unlikely. And even if that were true, God's not like that. God does not forget those who belong to him. He loves us with a passion. And so we must never say God has forsaken me, the Lord has forsaken me, the Lord has forgotten me. It's not true. That is a lie of the enemy. The enemy would love you to think that God has forgotten you. The enemy would love you to feel abandoned. That would float his boat. But the truth is, God has not forgotten you. And so I'm packing to go away, but I will be doing my thought for the day. It was suggested to me by someone that I should take a holiday. If I'm going away, I should take a holiday from doing thoughts for the day. But God doesn't take a holiday. And everyone needs something from God every day. We need to be living. We don't get a holiday. We don't get time off from being Christians. We don't get a break. We are committed day by day to follow him. So the timing of my posting it might be a bit erratic because I'm at other people's beck and call, as it were, as I'm staying away. But I will do my utmost to post a thought for the day, every day, until I come home again. God bless you. Remember, as I'm packing and I'm trying to remember everything, that God remembers you. He does not forget you. He loves you. He does not forget you. He will never forget you. You are engraved on the palm of his hand. Praise God. What a wonderful God we serve. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.